it's Saturday, November 26th, 2022, and you're listening to Jared and Mike Tell It Right podcast. It's a day after Thanksgiving, or 2 days after Thanksgiving, my bad.
Yeah.
How you doing, Jared? How was your Thanksgiving?
Uneventful. Kind of
Okay.
kept it chill, kind of stayed around the area. Most of my family lived out of state, so I should say most of my family. Like my mom and my brother live up in the old Wisconsin.
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 Wait, the brother we went to Fan Expo with, he
Yeah.
lives in Wisconsin?
Yeah. He lives
Oh,
in
shit.
well, he's like right on the edge. He's in
Oh, okay.
Twin Lakes,
Oh,
which Twin Lakes is like Fox Lake area, you know.
okay.
So it's not
that
like
far.
yeah, he's literally lives on State Line Road, which is the state line of Illinois and Wisconsin. So he's like 2 miles north of the state line.
You know what's funny? I just saw this TikTok the other day. I forget what area it is, but it's all the way up north. I forget if it's in like Michigan or if it's more like the New York areas, on the east. But there's this one area of land that's like, it's weird. The houses are in the United States, okay,
Mhm.
but the street is Canadian. So they can't leave their driveways technically. Well, technically they can't walk out their front doors in a way without having to go through customs. So it's like this
do they go
weird.
through customs?
They do.
That's stupid. Why would you
There's
live
an
there?
yeah. Well, many people that were U.S. citizens have moved out, and it just sounds like Canada needs to annex that. The United States just needs to make a deal like here, take another, 500 feet south
Yeah.
here, and now those houses will be Canadian, and we'll put a fence up.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like a U.S. Customs office or checkpoint, whatever, and like I don't know, they have to like they pretty much just stand on guard when anybody opens their door or something. They run over. It's not like Nazi, like, oh, you're border jumping. It's more or less like they get out of their driveways and they drive to this little
Like a guard shack.
yeah, and then they just check them off and whatever. But there was a guy that was Canadian, and when he was driving on the road, he was in Canada, but then he veered off to a gas station that's in the States, So he
Mhm.
literally takes, a left-hand turn, and now he's in the States.
Yeah.
And he got arrested. That was like something back in, was it like early 2000s, maybe? I forget. But
I mean,
when
here's the thing.
yeah,
The amount of tax dollars that it probably takes just to protect that bullshit from people that aren't doing anything wrong is just insane. Like, why would you invest in that type of operation
right.
when you could easily do something that costs like, a ton less than paying some guards to be always there on both sides? I mean, it's dumb
Right.
on both of our ends. You know what I mean?
You know what it is? It's the United States and Canada not communicating on this, and this is just like they had incorrect maps on both sides, and so
They need to make like a neutral zone. Like if you go 2 miles into either country incorrectly, it gives you time to turn around and like, save yourself from making a mistake. But if it's to the point where like, oh, I went to this gas station that I made a right turn and I'm in the US, that is retarded. You know what I mean? And being arrested, again, a waste of tax dollars.
it is, yeah.
'Cause I'm sure it happens a lot. I mean, I can't
Well,
imagine. I mean, maybe locals, but
I don't. I mean, yeah, it's literally like there's like no fence or anything.
Mhm.
It's like literally the road is Canada, and then to the left of it is the United States, and it's just this weird dispute that nobody's really pulled their thumb out of their ass and like, hey, we'll give this to you, Canada, or Canada is like, hey, we'll give you the road, United States.
Yeah.
We'll make everything make sense. But who knows? Probably some dude in a freaking office in a bureaucrat job, just being like, no, I don't, no, I'm not gonna make a deal with Canada. They smell weird, something
They
like
do
that.
though.
I was
Canada's Canadians do smell bad.
my wife was watching that Queen Elizabeth show that they got going, or that series going on,
Oh yeah, yeah.
that whatever. Well, there's this part where Charles is like, he calls her mommy, and he's like, "Mommy, how was Canada?" And I was just like thinking of like an awesome voiceover to just be like, "It fucking sucked."
Right.
Fucking sucked. What do you want, Charles?
I mean, if Canada was so great, it would be America. I mean, let's face it. I mean, Canada is that bad where the US decided not to take it over because we hated the French too.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
what was it in like 1860 something? They burnt down the White House and there was zero retaliation because living in Canada is punishment enough for burning down the White House.
We rebuilt it twice.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, they did that to us and we were just like, listen, just go back to Canada, live your life out there. You're going to just suffer your entire life and that'll be your payback.
They gave us a statue though.
Yeah, but that was like French, not like French.
Not French.
Not French. It was like France French, not Canadian French. Like it's the most backwards country ever. Like they speak English. The Queen of England is on their currency.
Oh yeah. Okay,
but they're
but
they are French. And like like pick something. Like figure out what you are. Like they have what is that identity dysmorphia in Canada. They don't know who they are. One day they're a he, the other they're she.
and they just fart all the time too. I learned that from South Park.
About it.
Darn, it's until out. Man, what's been happening in the world lately, dude? 2022 has been a fucked up year for these actors, though. I know it's a weird transition, but
oh, we are coming up to the end of this year.
We are. No, I mean we are, and that's what I'm saying though. Everybody's dying, man. I was so I got a list of people here, man. All right. And I was actually shocked to see some of them on there, or maybe one of them, maybe two. Yeah, no, there are definitely two. The rest of them I remember seeing in the news and all that.
Yeah.
But been crazy, dude. Like, so today there's this Irene Cara who wrote Flashdance.
Yeah.
So she died. I don't know what these people died of though.
She was only 63, I think.
Yeah, she was pretty young. But then we had Jason David Frank last week taking his life.
Yeah.
Which that's messed up. So I was hiking with my cousin this morning and he was telling me there's this YouTube video out. I still haven't checked it out. Where I guess at the end, I think I saw it on TikTok, but I'm gonna go check this out. He gives this whole spiel, all right, and it's like real motivating and whatnot, but then it gets weird at the end where he makes a comment like,
but who cares about profit? You can't take it with you when you die. But what you can do is leave a legacy. A legacy behind. When you're gone, people say, hey, I remember this dude. And I remember what he did for me. So, are you going to leave a legacy behind? If you do, let's do it today.
I'm just trying to figure out. I mean, we know there's like a divorce going on, but then there was this, I guess like the stepdaughter who killed herself like a year ago.
Yeah.
Her dad's been trying to get custody for years in the past. And I guess like they put up like this, like almost like a Scientology wall where like totally excommunicated the guy from their daughter's life. And he never really got to, I don't know what the deal was. I don't know if the guy was a shithead or something. You know, they could
Yeah.
have been protecting her, or they could have been abusive in whatever weird way,
Yeah.
you know, and he was trying to get her out of that. But she ended up taking her life. And then now this divorce is happening. And then he got served papers, him and his ex-wife, over the daughter. And, you know, the not giving him any custody rights and all that. And I don't know the real ins and outs about it, but basically he's suing them for lost time.
It sounds like maybe that dude was like abusing the daughter. Because like
JDF.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
'Cause,
where I
I
was
mean,
kind of
it's
going
like-
with it. Yeah.
It's like she killed herself, and maybe there was like some dirt on him or something that happened, and he was just like, he knew it was going to come out, so he just, offed himself.
Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. And that's what I'm
That
hoping.
maybe that's why the wife was divorcing him, and
Yeah, like everything's
Yeah.
just falling apart after that.
Yeah.
And you know, that's what I'm wondering, if if something's going to come out, like if like this wife reveals something, or if somebody reveals something that, yeah, there was just a dark side to him that we just didn't know about. And I mean, if you think about it, like, you're this guy that's the Green Power Ranger, you know, that's where you got your name from. And you're like this total influence on children, even to, you know, pretty much to this day.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And he's been with Power Rangers for, I guess, 30 years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doing different projects over the years, doing comebacks, and he's a martial artist. He's an MMA. I heard in MMA though, he really got his ass beat, but still, he was a pretty good, like,
not like what's his face?
who?
The dude who does Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Tom Hardy. He won that championship or some shit recently.
Right. Oh yeah, that's right. He's like all in a wrestling singlet and shit.
No, he's in like a karate outfit.
Oh, okay, yeah. My bad. You're right.
Yeah, he does. Tom Hardy is like, could you imagine like having to go up against Tom Hardy? Like, this man is, he has enough money to be professionally trained, like really well. Then lose and be like, fuck.
I forfeit. I am not fighting Venom or Bane.
Yeah, this man is a evil villain, and I will have nothing to do with this. Nothing.
Not one thing.
Fool me once, shame on me.
I demand a constellation match.
Yeah. But yeah, so this dude, like, I mean, just hearing it like right off the cuff, because I actually had no idea like the backstory to it, but just from you explaining it, that just like right there is like a red flag. Like, okay, the daughter died. There's all this controversy. The wife is leaving him. Like, was he abusing the stepdaughter? Or was there something going on that was going to come out and he just said, fuck it?
Well, I'll tell you what, like, his later stuff, he looks very rough. He's like rough and tough. And like, it's like the times, I'm not trying to say he's Brendan Frasered us. He hasn't really BF'd us, but like, he's gone from this baby-faced boy who pretty much, you know, was a total badass back in the day. And now he's turned into this like really grizzly, like, you know, his face is kind of bashed in now from just, you know, all the stuff he's done over the
His
years.
life beating him up.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, kind of, you get that weird like wannabe mobster, not like wannabe mobster, because he never really talked like, you know, don't get me wrong there, but it was like, I guess he looked more like a biker, you know, that's just been hitting the whiskey way too hard for like the past 20 years, you know.
It happens.
But what I did find out was the Red Ranger, the original one, I think it's like Austin St. John or some shit like that. He made a TikTok that day when you told me about this, when you sent me that article. Basically he said it's no secret he's like, me and Jason were we were drinking buddies, you know?
Yeah.
So it sounded like he knew something, you know what I mean? Like, he's just like, basically, like, he wasn't saying it, but he was saying without saying, this dude's got demons, and
Yeah.
I just hope he's at rest now. That's all he kept saying. I hope he's at rest.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you on that 100%. Like, there's something wrong. You don't just fucking kill yourself because you're divorced. You get divorced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There,
Yeah.
there's
There's
something more to
something.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, maybe we could be completely wrong. Maybe he's just had a really bad time, and things started catching up with him. He might have been like the nicest dude ever. Like, we don't know.
He could have been in massive debt too. I
Yeah.
mean, and that's the thing. Maybe that's what was coming down. Like, maybe another theory I thought is maybe the ex-wife is somehow spinning the story now to get out of being sued, and it's all going to come down on him.
Yeah.
And it's
He's
just
a scapegoat somehow.
right, and then it's going to come out and it's going to ruin him. And and maybe here's the thing. Maybe there was a gap in a period where things did get rough and the money wasn't coming through, but then he did get himself up and maybe revitalized with Power Rangers or something. I got to really look at his backstory, but I know he got into more things like later in life here. He was making a movie too. That's the messed up part. They just finished the movie. It's in post-production right now. So it's going to air. It's just,
Is it like a Netflix movie?
I don't know what it's going to be, but it's like, it's maybe that's another thing. Maybe that movie maybe that just came to fruition to him and realized, I just made a Power Rangers movie that's not Power Rangers.
I
It's
don't
like,
think he would off himself.
no,
because he
I
made
don't know.
like Power Rangers movie, and it'd be like, I just did something.
Well, no, I mean,
blasphemous.
what if because he was kind of pitching it like, this is going to be really cool, but what if it just like really sunk into him that like he's not doing anything different, and he's nothing but a Power Ranger, and
Well, then his legacy would be perfect. Like,
but here's the thing though. I mean, I mean, you're right. That's far-fetched as hell. I mean, that's just a thought that came into my mind to try to look at all angles. But I really think truly, yeah, there were some demons he was fighting, and there's a bigger story than what we know. If it ever comes out, I don't know.
yeah,
It might have to be something that just has to stay, hidden. Who knows?
but I mean, there's
yeah.
always those people out there. I mean, look at like Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe. That dude cannot get any jobs acting because he is Harry Potter. Like, he's in all these like indie films and weird shit. Like, he's gonna be Weird Al and shit. But he's Harry Potter.
You know what though? I actually have a lot of respect for that, because you know what? Mainstream Hollywood's kind of, I mean, because it's not what it used to be, right?
Mhm.
And that's kind of why we do this show, to bring up those classics, right?
Yeah.
And talk about those. But like, I kind of have respect for him getting into the indie film thing, because he was in like this freaking cookie cutter franchise for like 20 years. Think about it. Like, it's this franchise, and it's just like, it's Harry Potter. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a good experience for him. Don't get me wrong. I mean, like, any kid would die to have, to be that kind of star. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, after doing that, I mean, like, what? Then you get into another mainstream movie doing, and it's just like, I've already done this. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
I've been in one of the highest grossing box office movies out there,
Mhm.
like at a young age until I started becoming a young adult. Like, maybe there's more out there. Maybe there's more of an art, and maybe it's one of those things where maybe he feels like he skipped all that. Think about it that way. Like, he took a backwards route. he was
Yeah.
a child that became a star overnight. Like, he didn't go to any acting school or anything like that.
I think he was in acting school.
Was he?
I think so.
Oh, well, at the end of the day,
At
though.
a young age.
Right, at a young age. But at the end of the day, though, he didn't have to go through some of the lengths some of these actors had to.
Oh, no.
Right?
No.
And like some of these famous actors, I'm just saying in general, didn't just become child stars. Some of them are fucking effed up, like Mr. Corey Feldman, you know, and he tells everybody, he's the first one to tell you, like, you know, I'm effed up because of Hollywood.
Look at Macaulay Culkin. Dude, you have to watch
It's all right.
If you ever get a chance to watch it, watch the movie Party Monster with Macaulay Culkin. It's based on a real story, which makes it even weirder. But he's this like he's like this transvestite gay straight guy.
All right,
maybe he's more of just like a cross-dressing straight guy because he does have a girlfriend, but they're just doing tons of drugs like all the time. It's so weird. And people end up dying and they like hide the body, and it's just weird as fuck. But like the character he plays is so weird, and like Macaulay Culkin did not age well whatsoever. Like, he was a cute kid, and then he got older, and then his like face got long.
I don't.
And like his nostrils are really long, so he looks like this, and he's like.
I did that TikTok with all the stars that aged, but I will say though that was kind of that photo that I picked was actually from a skit he put together where he was like this. He was still Kevin McAllister in this skit, but yeah, he's all fucked up and he's like Ubering for his girlfriend, and so and then he's like, I can't drive. I don't know how to drive. And then so what ends up happening is the Uber passenger drives the car, and he's sitting in the passenger seat, and he's just like freaking out about like, it starts going on about like how his parents left him by himself at home, you know, like 30 years ago, and like how he's all effed up over it, and like how his mom like was a groupie for a polka band. And he's like, I don't know what that's all about. You know, and he's smoking a cigarette, like he's just sucking it down, going nuts. But I've seen other pictures of him, and he's really
he did like recently a Nest commercial, I believe it was, or like Google Home commercial, where he's like sitting in his house, the Home Alone house, and he's like,
yes,
now I got to be ready when these people come. He's like, he said like Google, like close the shutters or some bullshit. Like, I don't remember the exact thing, but yeah, he looked old as fuck because he's like our age now.
Yeah, he literally, I know exactly what you're talking about. And he went through the entire movie as an adult.
Yeah.
In a matter of 30 seconds. Just imagine if movies were just commercials.
That's Rick's idea. Flicks on your feet.
We should do it. Holy crap. That would be awesome. We'll do it.
15-second shows that you can only watch on your feet of your shoes.
It'll be what do you call it? A Hide the Eggs original series. Because that's the channel.
1,000 episodes, 15 seconds long.
Rick and Morty, 100 years. Rick and
100
Morty.
years. 100 years. Did you catch the new one?
Yes, I did, and I have to wait for tomorrow's because that really effed me up. Like, I'm lost. It's like, I don't know.
It was the same thing as the fucking Meta Train one.
Yeah, right. It was just a little different, and yeah, I was losing track of it. I was just like,
I only caught like the last half of it because I missed the beginning. Every time I flip it on, it would be on, and it would be like 15 minutes in. I'm like, God damn it. But it was just like, what the hell is this? It's so weird with that Mr. Campbell guy with the Campbell soup, and like I was like, what is this? You know,
like they
It's
kept it was like this weird breaking the fourth wall
yeah.
weird thing, like, and that's where I was just kind of losing it. Like, what the hell's going on? I thought the show restarted on me at one point because didn't they do the intro twice or like three
Yeah.
times at
Something
one
like
point?
that.
And it
Yeah.
was like the same thing. And I was just like, we'll give him another shot. Hopefully, freaking Morty doesn't bang himself or something. I don't
This
know.
whole season just needs to be burned.
Yeah, what's
There's
this?
nothing been good.
This is
this season.
6 or 7.
Six.
And you said there's 8
8.
altogether.
Yeah.
Good luck, Dan. Good luck.
Yeah. It looks like Mike Moran or whoever that passed was like the only person that knew what the fuck he was talking about.
Oh, Mike
Yeah.
Mendez.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say about
Mendel.
yeah.
Yeah.
What I'll tell you about Dan Harmon, who is, the creator of this.
Yeah.
He's a drunk. And supposedly he's always, I think he said in the past, basically the drinking kind of helps, these wacky ideas that he comes up with. It was either Community or Rick and Morty. Now, what I'll say with Community, he'd be one of those guys where he would just rewrite a script and he'd lock himself in a room and everybody would be waiting around. And then he'd walk out and start passing papers out. He's like, all right, this is what you guys are going to say now, And so he's a hard person to work with.
Yeah.
But what I also understand about Rick and Morty is it's a tough show to do. There's a lot of moving parts that we don't really realize, and the kind of the things they do, and it's slow, apparently, is what I'm told. And I guess Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland have always kind of made a joke here that their episodes that get released, they're like released too late. What I mean? Like, and it's because of the process that they go through to make these shows, and so it actually is appealing to us, on our end. So, but they're like, they release it in the summer, and we're talking about turkeys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, look at they always the slut dragon one where they always bring up, really jumped on that dragon fad real quick. Talking about what's that fucking Game of Thrones? Is that it with dragons and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just looking into some like D&D stuff, but like after today, I think I need to go take a shower. You think your grandpa will fuck? Or whatever he said. Oh my God. But I like to give them the benefit of the doubt, like I always say. I was always impressed with Community. I always thought that it was an original. Yeah, it's just an original in my mind. And it was a unique idea. I mean, like, how many things about college is out there? But he was able to take community college and warp it into this weirdo comedy thing. And I guess a lot of that was based on his own experience. I guess they had a campus paintball tournament where they destroyed the fucking school, I guess, or a portion of it. And in like Community, like they have like 5 episodes where they play paintball and destroy the school like every time. It's hilarious. There's always like a prize that like makes them all crazy. The first one's like early registration. The next one's $100,000. And then they do these episodes. They're like, I think they call them bottleneck episodes, where they're cheap episodes where everybody's in one room. They don't ever leave the room, and they'll run through clips. So instead of, having different sets, they'll mainly do these on location, and, they'll get like 5 seconds or, 3 to 5 seconds at these different locations. They'll throw it into one clip and you'll think you've just seen like hours of of them doing things, but like they show a clip of them doing like a mobster movie, or not montage, tribute or something like
Yeah.
that. And it's all in black and white and shit.
Oof.
But then like the last one they do is, yeah, that got old after a while.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know. So yeah, Rick and Morty. Hopefully they recover here.